You're listening to Southeast Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Challenge us at Wexford Insurances 0818 31 30 30.
Welcome back to Southeast Radio's Business Matters. I'm now joined in studio by Tom Banville from Wexford County Enterprise Board. Tom, the reason I have asked you to come in this morning is to provide expert advice to those exhibiting at next week's National Ploughing Championships.
I think the key thing at this stage for our businesses is to be ready, have their literature ready, have their business cards ready, have their personnel ready for the show itself. From a practical perspective, I would say for the National Ploughing Championships and exhibitors on the stand, a couple of things to remember would be things like stand cleaning, making sure that the stand is clean and presentable at all times, that you have cleaning organised. Stand photography, for example, are you going to get some pictures taken? It's a useful opportunity and to be used for PR, for press releases, maybe during or after the show, to be displayed, for example, on your website. A couple of other things, I suppose. Insurance. Have you got insurance cover for the stand that you're taking? Have you got security in place for the show? Obviously, in terms of any show that you're going to, in order for you to measure the success of the show, you need to have some clear goals in place. So, have you thought about what you're looking to achieve from the show? Is it sales? Is it market research? Are you promoting a new product? Are you looking to identify new customers, identify new suppliers? This will be very useful afterwards to be able to measure your success then of the show itself. Key thing, obviously, at this stage, going into the last couple of days of a show, is to promote your participation in advance. So sending out the emails, press releases, text messages to clients to let them know, putting in calls, letting them know what stand you're going to be on is a big thing. Obviously, letting them know the number of your stand. Inviting suppliers or new clients, potential new clients, to come along to have a look at your stand, talk to you on the day.
Okay, some very good tips there and some very practical tips as well. I suppose, Tom, simple stuff as well in relation to, let's say, bringing a phone charger with you, and making sure that you have access to the internet there. So maybe bringing an internet dongle with you as well, so that you can provide demos of products online and things like that.
Yeah, well, the Southeast Enterprise Village is providing a Wi-Fi to clients to be able to avail of the facilities. And social media is a big thing now, and people want instant pictures and to be able to see people at shows and to be able to comment and like on their Facebook if they have a Facebook page, if they're at a show and they're exhibiting or they're launching a new product. People want to be able to comment straight away. So having access to those kind of things is very useful for a business. But the simple things can let you down. Like I say, forgetting a charger or forgetting your laptop or whatever can let you down. So although obviously a lot of these things are done by phone now, so people are usually carrying those with them. It's the first thing that they'll or the last thing they'll bring with them to the office or wherever they're going is the phone. So.
One of the other key points you made as well that certainly stood out for me was in relation to setting clear goals for their participation at the show. So identifying exactly what you want to get out of the show itself, whether it's more sales, whether it's market research, whether it's the promotion of a new product or looking for a distributor, whatever the case may be, it's very, very important that a company would know up front exactly what they're looking to achieve and how they're going to actually evaluate the show's success afterwards.
Yeah, I think this goes back to, choosing carefully what shows that you're going to go to. And this is where I suppose we would talk to a lot of clients as well in regards to what shows they're going to exhibit at. And, planning in advance. You shouldn't just jump in with any trade show that comes along. You should pick them. You should try and pre-visit if you can. So maybe if you're thinking of a show next year, go and visit this year. Just go along as somebody who an observer and see what goes on at your show, see who's there, see what kind of potential clients might be coming to that show. So I think that would be a very important thing. Budgeting for a show as well is very important because it can be very expensive, trade shows. Very effective, but you can put a lot of money into them, time, resources, staff, marketing into a show. So I would say plan well in advance, prepare your plan, set your goals like you say, Karl. Try and set some goals so that you in the future then after the show you can measure the success, whether you've made sales, whether you've found out something new about your product or service in terms of market research. If you've launched a new product, Did you get awareness? Has there been new awareness of the product? And so these kind of things can be very, very useful to measure success post-show.
Well, Tom, there's certainly plenty of food for thought there for somebody that is looking to plan in relation to the Ploughing Championship in advance of Tuesday. Let's roll forward until Tuesday, 9 a.m. There's 3 days. There's 190,000 people coming through the gates. What advice would you give to business owners that are exhibiting there that want to make the most out of the numbers that are passing through?
Like I said, Karl, it is showtime on Tuesday morning for exhibitors at the National Ploughing Championship. So key thing would be, first of all, get there early, be on time, be there on your stand at least an hour beforehand to make sure last minute changes to the stand or last minute things you need to get done before customers or potential customers start coming into the show. Key thing I would say in terms of the show itself, you've got to be professional, you've got to be polite, you've got to be friendly with people that are approaching you. Maybe people that it may be obvious to you that they're not necessarily your customers, but be polite, analyse whether they're of interest to you, whether they're serious about your product or service. Quite quickly, give them some information, give them a business card or whatever it might be, and move on to the next potential customer. So, don't spend too much time with people, with one person, chatting to them for an hour. 5-10 minutes would be loads of time to spend with somebody. So try and get through as much people as you can. Try and hand out any business cards as you can. A couple of other things, Karl, in terms of the show itself. One of my pet hates, and I've been to a lot of shows around the country and outside the country as well, is people sitting in stands, sitting at a table or behind a table. It's a big, big mistake. You've got to be out front, talking to people, introducing yourself to people, not necessarily waiting for them to introduce themselves to you. Collecting business cards. One of the key things that you may come out of this show would be coming out with a database of potential customers that you can use afterwards to then, send out your samples or flyers or business cards to those potential customers. One of the other things I would say is, pre-qualify people that you're talking to. Have a look at them, have a chat with them, and then maybe decide whether they're a potential customer of yours or not. One of the other things I would say, Karl, about the National Ploughing Championships and having a stand at it would be to give people a reasons to come to your stand. Providing, doing a draw or a promotion or giving away samples is a great way of attracting people to come along to your stand, to see what your product is about, what your service is about, and to be able to offer them some sort of a sample is a great way that they can take away. You're going to see a lot of people, I think, going around the National Ploughing Championships with bags and bags of stuff. You've got to be able to stand out and make your product or service stand out. So having some sort of a gimmick or a gadget prize or something can be a good way of attracting people to your stand and standing out from the crowd. Let's
move forward to Friday. The show is over. People are back in their office. What should they be doing, Tom?
Well, it's about follow-up, really. You've maybe gathered a list of potential customers or potential suppliers. It's about getting in touch with those to follow up, to find out their genuine interest in your product or service. Send them a letter, send them an email. If you've got mobile numbers, a great way of doing it obviously is text messages. Everybody carries a phone these days. And I don't know about you, Karl, but I'm certainly getting more and more text messages from people who are looking to sell me products or services. If you can afford the time, obviously making a call could be appreciated. Particularly, I would say, if you're a business-to-business type of business, then obviously making a call, building a relationship with your customer is key. If you're a consumer business, then again, maybe it's just sending them a promotional item, offering something, a discount or whatever off your particular product or service, or sending them a voucher to be able to sample your product again. So those kind of things would be the kind of follow-up things. At this stage, it's Friday or it's into next week, and the show is over. It's about measuring the success. Go back to your goals. What were you trying to achieve from the show? Was it sales? Was it new product launch? Was it market research? Was it identifying new suppliers? Was it just about building a customer leads? So then you can go and measure that success now by having a look at your database. Were you able to get new customer leads? Did you make any sales? Are you going to be able to make any sales on the follow-up? that you're going to do over the coming weeks. Did you launch a new product? Did you get any PR for that? Did you get any? Did you issue a press release, or can you issue a press release now to say that you've launched a new product, and get some maybe some media attention? Maybe get on South East Radio, maybe, or get in the local papers, or even get in the national papers, or possibly even get on TV. So these are the kind of things that you need to be doing after the show. It's about follow up. It's about measuring success.
We touched on it earlier in the interview. I'd like to go back and maybe delve a little bit deeper on it now. That's the National Ploughing Championship, but there's lots and lots, hundreds of other trade shows happening across the country and conferences at any time of the year. Let's say, for instance, business owners that would be listening to the show this morning that would have no experience whatsoever of exhibiting at trade shows, maybe have never even considered attending a trade show. What would you say to them?
I'd say the first thing to do is to, if they're considering attending a trade show, is to come talk to the Enterprise Board, for example. We can offer them some initial advice. We could possibly set them up with a business mentor to have a look at trade shows as an option for them. Is it the right approach? Is it the right channel for them in terms of exhibiting? There's plenty of shows out there, both national and international. There's any amount of them, but it can be very expensive. So I wouldn't go jumping in. I'd go talk to people. I'd have a look at what kind of budget is needed. I'd have a look at the show itself, possibly pre-visit a show if you were thinking of doing it next year. So I would say talk to maybe your advisor and talk to a business mentor, come talk to the Enterprise Board, and find out a little bit more. Do your research, prepare well in advance. Don't just jump in at the next show that comes along that you think is right for you. So that's what I would say. I'd say, take your time, research it, talk to potential advisors, and make a decision on whether the trade shows are right for your business, because they're not right for all businesses. They can be great for business to business. They can be great for business to consumer shows as well, but they're not right for everybody. And like I said, it can be quite expensive. So budget obviously is a big thing.
Well, Tom, there's certainly some fantastic advice there for anyone that is exhibiting at the National Ploughing Championships next week. So I'd like to take this opportunity to wish them every success at the event.
You're listening to South East Radio's Business Matters with Karl Fitzpatrick in association with Wexford Insurances. Think Wexford Insurances for your business insurance.